Okay, so a friend of mine from my main account wanted to get some advice or my suggestions on the matter. So they wanted to know, as you see here, that their main character was abused as a child, diabetic, kidnapped, experienced 2 drownings, 2 head injuries, car accident, and a broken femur. And with complications arising from said injury, poor blood flow, and a buildup of scar tissue. They wanted to know that if, as a writer, you should amputate the leg. Now, this is where it somewhat sort of gets complicated, and without me having seen your work, the character development, and the story progression, it's hard to say exactly what you should do, and ultimately, with you as the author, it is up to you. But that is also highly specific upon genre. Now, one thing I will warn against is if you plan on doing sequels or continuing the story in another way with that character, amputation could kind of cut the story short. That being said as well, given there's so many bad things, I'm assuming throughout the course of your story or prior to in a backstory, your character has obviously been through major hardships, and that could be something that's a good tactic to give to the reader where something does go right. So maybe narratively, if it were me, and again, I don't know what kind of story you're doing, but I would make the reader think that, oh my god, she's going to lose this leg, and then miraculously whatever happens, and it's no longer an issue. Now, if you're into science fiction or fantasy, unless you write in the use of prosthetics or stuff like that, having someone lose a body part would be a massive, unrealistic hindrance. And again, it depends on the character, how they are in the story, whether they play an important role in the action, so to speak. And in which case, I wouldn't suggest doing that because you basically just killed the character off. Again, unless it depends. Your world might have different elements that allow them to cope with it. But say you're writing romance or any of the other sort of real life genres where the world is much more as we know it, that could be an effective tool to make it so that you can elicit sympathy from your readers for your character and stuff, and maybe they find that partner that loves them no matter what. Then again, people don't love, they like when things work out. Any other questions? Ask away.